We are here today interviewing two members of our group that would like to share their story. We thank you both for taking time to share a story with us today. We have asked members of the group to share their personal stories, and it is important to share these stories. No one is alone. Pickpockets, attacks, thefts, incidents of any kind can happen to anyone, especially when traveling in a foreign or unknown city. Our goal is to balance education and empowerment without instilling fear. So let's begin our interview. Thank you both for joining.
Hi.
Thank you.
Thank you. Would you like to tell us a little bit about the day? Where were you? What country? The location?
Yep, so it was on the 14th of August 2019. We were in Sri Lanka and we were heading towards the Yala National Park. Yeah, and we were there to celebrate a birthday. So it was actually a birthday trip. We were excited to spot some leopards and sloth bears there.
Okay.
So yeah, it was a bright and sunny day, in fact, and we were
Okay.
really excited and looking forward to the trip, the
That
tour.
sounds like a fantastic chance to have an exciting day excursion. So you were
Yeah.
traveling with one other friend of yours, right?
Yeah, that's correct.
O-
So there were two of us,
Okay.
like
Okay.
yeah.
All right. So you want to tell us a little bit about what happened, how this incident happened, where you were, what the situation was a little bit?
Yep. So everything was pretty all right. We actually spotted some wild animals along the way. However, there was one road where the driver was driving and he suddenly turned in. He went off the main road and he turned into a smaller area where it was sort of like a lake-ish area. And he said that we could maybe spot some crocodiles there.
Mm-hmm.
So during that time, there were two or three jeeps in that area, in that same area. So we didn't think much about it.
Okay.
So he stopped the jeep for a bit just to wait and see whether there were any sightings of crocodiles, and that was where he waited. Like I mean, that was where the other jeeps left, and we
o-
were alone in that area.
Okay.
And all of a sudden, he reversed his jeep and turned off his engine,
Okay.
and he got out of the car, of the jeep. So so that there and then he told us to, take some photos of the area. And so we did with our phones and cameras.
Okay. And
And
and you're now in this area alone with this man, and you trust him. He's your only way to get out of the jungle or this area. So you're trusting him at this point, right?
yeah, that's right. I mean, we were in the middle of the safari with free roaming animals. And of course, signal there wasn't that strong. And we had to entrust him as he was like our guide there. We saw him as a
Exactly.
guide to the safari. He knows the area best.
Okay.
So,
Okay. So you had no other options but to
mm,
follow what he's told you to do. So what
yeah.
what happened when you were he backed up the Jeep and then you were going to get out of the Jeep? What happened then?
Yeah, so the only way in and out of the Jeep was through the back door. So there was only one entrance in the Jeep. There were no side doors.
Mhm.
However, when he asked us to come down one by one, we actually asked why we couldn't use the back door. And he sort of brushed it off by saying, no, no, quick, quick, come, let me help you. So one by
Okay.
one, we got down.
Okay.
And yeah, so we actually got down through the side of the Jeep and from our seats.
o-
And that was where so when I went down first, instead of having both hands around like my armpits, he sort of put them like inner towards my breasts. So he
Okay.
sort of like just touched them. And while I was midway or halfway out of the Jeep, I felt his hand like, slipped in and between my crotch area.
Okay.
And
Well,
he did the same for, yeah, the two of us
okay. And
as
at the moment when you got down now off of the truck, what was your reaction? I mean, this man just touched your breast. He touched the inside of your crotch area. What did you do? How did you react at this moment?
For me, I was really scared because we were alone with him.
Hmm.
So in my mind, I just want to calm down
Okay.
because I'm scared that if I react, the more he will do. He might try to silence me or something might happen. Worse might happen.
Okay.
So I tried to calm down and act normal, but
Okay.
deep inside, I was scared.
In the middle of this national forest or national park, and he is your only way out. So
Yeah.
you didn't want to
Mm.
escalate any or make him angry. You don't know, and in the meantime, you have those wild animals around you. So free roaming
Yeah.
wild animals. So what
Yeah.
happened? What happened next?
Yeah, so after we got down, he offered to take a picture of us around the area. And then after that, he asked for a selfie, and that was where I felt because I was the one taking the picture.
Hmm.
And then I felt his hand moved from my left shoulder down to like the side of my left boob.
Okay. Okay.
And yeah, everything just seems a like just touch and go, that kind of
Yeah.
feeling that it's sort
Yeah.
of like it was a time where, should I react? Should I not react? Was it an accident? Was it on purpose? Because it was like such a light touch, but you
Yeah.
felt it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So at this point, you realize it's probably not an accident that this man has some intentions for both of you. So I think at
Yeah.
this point, you just want to try to survive this moment and get yourself in a safe place, right?
Yeah, that's correct. And then after the selfie, he was like, okay, quick, quick, let's get up the Jeep. Again, we asked why couldn't we use the back door. He brushed it off and said, quick, quick, let me help you.
Mm.
And this time it was clear that we could use the wheel of the Jeep to get us back in because it was
Okay.
actually high enough.
Yep.
But, yeah. And again, he put his hand in between like our crotches and
So
just like to lift us up back into the Jeep
Yeah.
where
he
it was clearly unneeded.
Yeah, he was
Yeah.
looking for every opportunity to
Yeah.
to violate you, to
Yeah.
to accost both of you. He was looking for every chance he could get. So in the end of this day, did you get back to a safe point?
Yeah, so actually we sort of told him that we wanted to exit the park as soon as it happened, but
Okay.
again he brushed it off by saying that, oh, you guys spend so much money to enter the park. Let me just finish the trip for you. I promise we'll see leopards and stuff. And he just refused to,
Bring us to the exit.
yeah, and bring us
Okay.
back. So
Okay.
we sort of had no choice but to comply with his instructions. And we ended the tour with him bringing us back to our accommodation.
Okay, okay. I think
Yeah.
this is very typical. Um, you have to comply. You have no other choice but just to
Yeah.
endure this and get until you can get to a safe place. Um,
Yeah. I
how?
mean, one of us was already crying throughout the entire trip, but he just turned back and said, "Stop crying.
Yeah.
I'm no danger man. I'm a very good man. I'm experienced in
Yeah.
leopards, sloth bears, and whatever wild animals you can think of in the safari." And yeah, every now and then he just didn't want to exit. He
Yeah,
just looked back and just stopped crying, please, please. And then
Yeah.
he just kept apologizing and said that it was all a misunderstanding.
That he was actually helping us.
Yeah.
mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
I really really hope the authorities can look into the situation and move
Yeah.
forward, in a legal capacity. Um, what do you recommend to others now? How has this impacted you now?
I guess it's to be more aware of your surroundings. Think with your brain and not with your body, and always stand firm. If you know that something isn't right, for example, if there's a door, use it instead of using another way to get out of a vehicle, especially. and you know that, and even if you know that he asked you to step out of the Jeep, it's a national park at the end of the day, and you should know that your safety is concerned here. And yeah, you should actually be firm and say no rather than complying.
For me is
Yeah.
maybe don't get too over friendly, because we've been like a bit complacent, because the people we met the previous days were very hospitable, very generous. So we thought like maybe all the Sri Lankans are like that.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
maybe next time like still have your guard up.
Yes.
Like don't just trust anyone.
Yeah,
Yeah. I
we
mean,
have to always stay vigilant because as a traveler, you know, some people are very welcoming to women travelers, but other people have bad intentions for us. So we always have to stay vigilant and on guard, especially when we're doing foreign travel. Is there anything else you would like to share with the group?
I just,
Maybe to
yeah.
have a contact number just in case something happens when you travel, like maybe the number of the police or anyone you could call immediately when something happens.
That's a very good tip, and we do post in our Women Travel Safe group. We do post emergency contact numbers for different
Yeah.
countries, for police, for fire, for lost and stolen items. What to
Yeah.
do. This is something we do post on our Facebook group. To close this interview, I want to thank you both. You are both stunning and brave. Um, Thank you for sharing your story. Thank you for sharing it with us at Women Travel Safe Facebook group. I'm sure many other women can identify with your story. I hope your spirits in the future will mend, that you can still continue your wanderlust and your sense for travel and adventure. And
Definitely.
yeah, it touches my heart to have this interview with you because it's such a overwhelming story for any woman to
Yeah.
hear this, to be in the middle of a national park with wild animals, and then the man that you're supposed to trust is sitting right there, you know,
Yeah.
Yeah. When you
it,
least expect it, you
when you
know.
least expect it. So it's a very hits me right in my heart to hear this story. I thank you both. I wish you both to take care and to travel safe.
Thank you so
Thank you so
much. We'll
much.
continue our wanderlust around the world.
And thank you for the initiative to inform other women, because I think it's really important to, for the women travelers to be aware of this.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's my mission and it's the mission of our group. So thank you very much and take care.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.